banter. Balls and banter. No excuses, just win, win, win with your balls and banter. We got balls, we got pucks, we got sticks, we got everything in between. We got balls and banter.
Over for the U.S. men's national soccer team, if you want to call it a curse. It had been since 2002 since we got a knockout round win. Yeah. And they did last night, 2-0 over Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it was a pretty impressive win, especially the second half. They pull it off with 10 players. We lose. Now this is the rub. First of all, right. the red card was bullshit.
Yeah.
Terrible call. But we're without Balogun now, who's scored 3 goals. And you know what? I'm realizing, Matthew, I didn't order those for you, so we're going to have to do this on the fly. You can kind of cruise through. But he goes out with the red card after a goal earlier in the game. Now, take that one down. It's go down to it's a picture of him scoring, I think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if it's not up. But Balogun gets this goal. You know, we've got 2 goals. We're up 2-0. He's out, but he's suspended for this next game. And this is a dude, by the way. So there's a graphic on there. Actually, yeah, pop that one up. There's a graphic on there. You can see he's tied for 4th with 3 World Cup goals, most in U.S. men's national team history in a World Cup. You got Donovan, who everyone's familiar with, up top with 5. But dude's on his way. If we get the win, obviously he can keep going with that in this particular World Cup, but he's going to miss this next game, which is going to be a tough one against Belgium.
Yeah. I saw something today that there was a possibility they can, I don't know, try to get it overturned. Do you know anything about that?
I think that the appeal's not going to – last I heard, the appeal's not going to happen, or it's not going to go through, rather.
Okay.
Which, again, is utter hogwash.
A little disappointing, yeah.
So we'll see that. But so we go on. Congrats to the men's national team. It was awesome to see. By the way, I think I've said this before. Has anyone else noticed that our coach is like a dead ringer for Russell Crowe? Did I bring that up already?
No, I don't know.
I look at him. He's like young Russell Crowe. It's like, that's cool that we got young Russell Crowe coaching us.
I can't get over the fact it's not because he's not American, right? I don't. No. To me, if you're representing the national team, I feel like you should be of that nationality. I don't know. I guess that's just me. But I can't get past that. I don't understand.
Yeah, we'll take him though.
Yeah, I guess right. He's pretty good.
he's pretty damn good. First knockout win in 20 years. So we'll do it. Great. Again, brutal timing with the loss of Balogun for the next game. Hopefully we can pull it off. Speaking of World Cup, there were some other great games. And this is such a weird thing. You guys know I pick on soccer all the time. I do. Guilty. But I've always said, like, I get into the World Cup. I certainly get into our games because America's badass. It's the 250th this summer. Like, there's a lot of reasons to be prideful and proud of the team. But I've gotten into the other games too. Like, I absolutely have. And you had Paraguay, who we beat 4-1, knock off Germany in PKs the other day. That was super exciting, fun game. Some frustrations over a call or review that didn't go the way Germany wanted. And then Morocco beat the Netherlands, also in PKs. That one went down. So you had the Netherlands, who's a great team, Germany, historically a great team, both knocked out, and those were crazy finishes. I don't know if you got a chance to see those, but they were awesome games. Anytime it goes to PKs,
exactly,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the PKs are the best. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's either team can win at that point, right? Yeah. So no, I mean, good, good for them.
Yeah, man, it is brutal. obviously I was a football guy. That's what I played most of it, but I played everything up until a point.
Yep.
And I played goalie, and I was a good athlete. I had good success and with that, but I hated PKs because you literally are.
Yeah.
You're straight up guessing, which is why you say, like, some people are like, he dove this way and the ball's going that way. It's like, well, what do you expect him to do? Like, he's not in the mind of that guy. Like, he doesn't know where it's going. Those are tough. Those are tough ones to be a part of. And there was one the other day. I forget if it was I think it was the Morocco-Netherlands game. The Netherlands goalie stopped it, rolled over it, still in front of the line. His foot kicks it back into the goal.
That's the worst.
So tough, but crazy. Been fun. Anytime a game's on, I'll go home today. I will just tell you how this is going to go. The show will end. I will go home. I will get back to work on the back patio. There's probably going to be a cigar involved, and I will put whatever game is on. And I don't freaking care. It's competition. It's a light time of year. I'll take it.
Yeah, totally agree. See, I'm in a different boat. I would probably have them on, and I still probably will in the background. There's nothing else going on, but I don't have the channels on my TV that broadcast the games. I have Peacock, which has the Spanish versions of the game. So all the games I've been listening to have been in Spanish. So it's one of those things. I'm getting trained up on my Spanish, luckily.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be multilingual, bilingual here by the end. Yeah, that's. Congrats to you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It'll come in handy with your business and all that you guys do.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay, switching from soccer to another sport, but a sport with goalies.
There you go.
And we're going to talk about a couple goalies. We're going to talk hockey for a second. It's the offseason, which sucks, but there's lots of moves happening. Obviously we've had the draft. We've had lots of free agency going on. And you've got Frederik Andersen, who, let's go to the other goalie one. Frederik Andersen, who was the goalie for Carolina, there we go, right there, who was the goalie for Carolina a good bit of the year, had a great year, had a good 5-year run in Carolina. He's headed to Edmonton on a 1-year contract worth $2.8 million. Mm-hmm. So good for him. Again, this is a guy who had a great year, a great time there during his tenure with the Hurricanes, who obviously just won the Cup. You've got Brandon Bussey, though, who was the young cat that stepped in. They ended up going with him, in the end, in the Stanley Cup final, and they're like, this is our guy. We're going to ride this young guy. But kudos to Andersen, who's done great. He's had a great career. Now he moves on to Edmonton. I'm sure Connor McDavid and the folks up there are excited because he wants to see what's going on with their roster rebuild.
Exactly, and they've had goalie issues the past couple of years. So hopefully this is their problem solved. I think is what they're hoping for. We'll see. Yeah,
we will see. So he's there. Bussy, you're the guy now. Everything's on your shoulders. In Carolina, no pressure. Sticking with goalie Sergei Bobrovsky, who we just had up a second ago, Matthew, in preview, the Florida Panthers goalie. He has signed a 3-year deal with the Maple Leafs. So he's headed up north, had a great run. Yeah. Obviously some Stanley Cups there in Florida. Yep. So you've got now, so he's going to the Leafs, who are trying to build themselves, stack their roster. And now Florida, who's got the Tkachuk brothers, who have done some big moves in the offseason. You're like, okay, well, who's the goalies? Well, they've brought in goalies. They brought in Jacob Markstrom from New Jersey.
Yep.
They've got Akira Schmid, who's there. So they've got a totally new duo down there. And while Bobrovsky's a great goaltender and a big loss, big gain for Toronto, I think Markstrom's good. I think that they're in pretty good shape. The rest of the roster stuff that they're doing, I think, is going to set them up well. They are definitely one of the teams to watch going into this next year.
100%. Yeah. Even losing Bobrovsky, it doesn't matter. Like you said, they brought in two pretty good options to kind of hold that stand back there. So hopefully, everything goes good for them. I think, they're definitely still going to be, in the running for the Stanley Cup next year.
You know who else could be? We were talking about this off camera before the show. I was reading an article this morning. This had not happened yet, at least to my knowledge. And then Zach comes in and tells me it has happened since the Washington Capitals making some moves. They made a shit ton of moves in the offseason, building the roster. It was unclear whether or not Ovi was going to play another one. He's 41 years old. He's either 41 or he's going to be 41. I forget. But 41, he's at the tail end of his career.
Right.
But he didn't say, I'm done for sure. He left it open where it was almost like, I think he's going to play.
Yeah.
And then they go out and they stack the roster, bring in a bunch of free agents, meaningful free agents. And as of today, he's signed a 1-year veteran deal.
Yep.
And he's returning. And the Caps all of a sudden are like, I don't know.
They could definitely compete for it. Like you said, they brought in a lot of pieces. You bring back Ovi, who's kind of the, he's the captain of the team. He's kind of been there, done it. Hopefully, I think he's going to be looking for another cup this year. So I think I thought it last season. I thought last season was going to be his last year.
Yeah.
So we'll go into this season saying I think this season's going to be his last year. So I think he's looking for that cup.
You'd think so. The question becomes is how good, how's the chemistry with all of these guys? How good can this team really be?
I've heard they've got a really good coach there, and that coach has been done really good at getting those players together, making them play really well together. So
there you go. You've got that. And then another question is Ovechkin went over 30 goals again last year, despite his age.
Yeah.
Does he do it again this year? Interesting storylines. Lots going on. There's tons actually even beyond that going on in the NHL side of the house, but we won't get into all those deals. We gave you some big ones there to talk about. Now we'll get into Zach's favorite sport. We'll get into the NBA, and I'll just touch on this here because there's a 4 split up towards the top, Matthew, or there, yeah. So big deal goes down. Everyone had talked about the fact that the Celtics were maybe going to deal Jaylen Brown, stud player, and they in fact did. In a blockbuster trade that went down. This guy that we'll put up on the screen, who's been a part of so much in Boston, 10 seasons, an NBA championship, an NBA Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, 5-time NBA All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team, NBA All-Rookie second team, 3rd overall pick in 2016. He's played 674 games. He's averaged 20 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game. Over 13,000 career points. He's been a pillar, a linchpin in the Celtics organization. He's now going to Philly to play with Embiid, so they've got a crazy duo there that's lining up. So that's going to be interesting to see. The thing that's interesting is so they trade Paul George to Boston along with 2 first-round picks. And obviously those picks come with a lot of weight, and that's something for building into the future, as well as 2 second-round picks. So a bounty of picks. But what's interesting, if you're a Boston fan, you're like, well, hold on. It's great that we're getting these picks, but we're a pretty good team, and we're giving up Jalen for the future, and we're taking George, who's 36, Paul George 36, Jaylen Brown 29, still ascending. Still a great player. Not that Paul's a dinosaur and he brings no value. That's not the case whatsoever. But kind of a lopsided move where you're kind of like, okay, we just sent this stud here, and we're willing to. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of banter. There already is about that deal. Then one other NBA thing, and we'll get into a myriad of some other stories. We've got a couple memes, and then we're going to get out of here for the holiday weekend. LeBron James, who I'm not a big fan of. I've been clear about that. Part of it's because I'm a loyalist to MJ and I hate there being discussions about it. Part of it's because he flops and is a baby. Part of it's because of his social justice bullshit. There's lots of reasons. Obviously, he's a very good basketball player. Sure. No one's disputing that. Yep. I don't think he's Kobe or MJ, but he is very, very good. Well, he's told his agent to tell the Lakers to not plan on him being there, that he plans on being somewhere else for this upcoming season. So you've got lots of, I don't even know if there's a graphic for this, Matthew, so don't worry about it. But you've got lots of discussion about where that could be. There's Miami that's been mentioned, which would be a return.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
They've got Giannis now, so that would be a pretty scary pairing if you're in the East. There's Cleveland, also somewhere he's been before. I mean, that's where it started. But he's got lots of different things being talked about, and then this is where I don't know how I feel about this. There's lots of people talking about Minnesota. We've got Anthony Edwards. We've got LaMelo Ball now. We've got Jaden McDaniels. We've got this stacked roster outside of a little bit of depth issue at the 4 and 5 spot, which we talked about last week. It's a stacked roster. Anthony Edwards, one of the best in the game. LeBron has talked about how much he adores Ant, you know, obviously if he went there, that makes their roster really damn good. So I'm caught in this spot where it's like, well, I don't really like this guy, but I also like winning.
Right.
So maybe I can get over it. It's probably just a year, you know, it's maybe 2 tops, probably just a year. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to ultimately be the place, but it also makes a lot of sense. They're swinging big for the fences, making big moves. He gets to play with some absolute studs. Like, that roster becomes very scary very fast. It already is scary. So,
yeah, you know, and I mean, you know, yeah, LeBron is polarizing player. You know, he probably can add a lot of value to the team, but kind of like you said, you know, you have these other feelings about him. Can you put those aside to try to you know, cheer your team on and watch them win? It should be cool to see.
I just don't know. Well, I guess the only way we're going to find out is if it happens.
Yep.
We will see. I think we can do it without him, but we will see. We talked about Terrion Arnold the other day, Lions cornerback. So he gets arrested with these other group of fellas. His lawyer, of course, is saying he's good. No, it's not that one. It's there we go. Yep. So we talk about that. Not good, because there's kidnapping, there's felony assault, there's all these charges you don't want out there. Well, the Lions have gotten ahead of it, and they've said, look, we don't know where this is actually going to go in court.
Yep.
We're releasing you. So Terrion Arnold is now released. What is set to happen with him legally in terms of sentencing and all of that stuff is TBD. Not looking good. Of course, his lawyers and himself are saying that they're good. He was let out on $1 million bond.
Did you see what his agent was saying? His agent was even saying there were some teams interested in
yeah,
him.
Apparently there's multiple teams who have already reached out. Like, we'll take him. It's like, well, let's maybe see what happens with this. I think we've got what we could call some slight character issues. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So he has been released. He's either going to prison for a long-ass time, or he's going to a new team in the NFL. We don't know which it's going to be. It's kind of like we've got all these like scenarios and options.
And what a life! It's just a flip of the coin right there.
Yep. So we will see. And here's the thing. This is interesting because he was going to be one of the starting 2 corners for the Lions. So Dan Campbell and the Lions now have a gap they need to fill. You know, starting corners don't grow on trees in the NFL. They do, but not the good ones. So, you know, you have a new point of vulnerability there for Detroit, who's obviously a very good team. I'm sure they will be just fine, but it is something they got to figure out. Then it is July 2nd. Yesterday, July 1st, started the new beginning of these new conferences and some of the new alignment. Go over to 2 over. Yeah. No, 2 over. Yeah, there we go. So we'll start with that one. So this is your new Pac-12 conference, which is weird. But you've got Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, who all went from the Mountain West. You've got Oregon State, who was there as part of the Pac-2. You've got San Diego State, who also was Mountain West. You've got Texas State, who joins from outside of that. Utah State, who was Mountain West, and then Washington State, Wazoo, who was already a part of it, a part of the original, and then part of that Pac-2. Gonzaga there for basketball and some other stuff. But for football, this is how it looks. And we're going to show you the Mountain West one in a second, which is that next row up. But I still think this is just so weird. Is that a good group of 5 conference for football? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a decent one because, again, the Mountain West was good. Oregon State, Washington State will have some good teams, some good years. Obviously, they've got some history. But is it a great conference? Is the Pac-12 back? Is it a Power 5 conference now? No, there's still 4 power conferences. The days of P5 are over for now, likely forever. And I just think it's interesting. And then you've got the new Mountain West Conference, which looks like this. You've got Air Force, who remains, Hawaii, who remains, Wyoming, who remains, New Mexico, Lobos, who remain. You've got Nevada, who's still there. Then Northern Illinois joins. San Jose State was there. You've got North Dakota State, who's coming up from FCS to FBS. They join, which is actually really interesting. UTEP's coming over from Conference USA, and then UNLV remains. So it's pretty Mountain West-esque, other than the fact that we're adding in Northern Illinois, who comes from the MAC. But it's interesting because you've got, so Colorado State leaves to go to the Pac-12. Wyoming remains. Those two have a deep rivalry, the border war. Like, it's a big deal. Will be interesting to see how that survives. And I think one of the storylines that's most interesting to me going into this college football season has no impact on the CFP whatsoever. We talked about the fact that Sacramento State, who's going to the MAC, they're jumping up from FCS to FBS. They're eligible to compete in the postseason. So is North Dakota State in the Mountain West. But I think that North Dakota State is one of the most interesting storylines this year because they run such a good program at that level. That is a conference that they can step in and compete with. They recruit good talent. They have a great fan base. They care a whole hell of a lot about football in Fargo, North Dakota. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see how they do there. Am I saying that they're going to come in and win the Mountain West outright year one? No, I'm not saying that. You know, UNLV's doing some good things. You know, there's some sleepy, decent teams in there, but there's not some amazing teams in there. So, like, I think they're going to be, you know, if they had Boise State in there, they had a couple of other teams who left to go to the Pac-12. It's a harder row to hoe. Their path is a lot more reasonable than it was before. The Mountain West has taken a step down with some of the better teams leaving. So I'm dying to see how they do stepping up.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. And like you said, it's not just, you know, it's not going to be this upcoming season where they're going to be gunning for the championship, I don't think. You know, but it's one of those things where they're building a program, especially, you know, not to veer off of football, but they're doing more than just their football program. They're building their ice hockey program has gone through the roof over there at North Dakota State. So, you know, I think they're doing really good things over there. They're definitely going to be a team to watch here in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see. Both those conferences are going to be interesting. Again, my take is you took one, because the Pac-12 wasn't even really a conference. It was two teams. But you took one conference and whatever that was, and you split it into two group of five conferences. Whatever. It is what it is. It'll be something. You know, there's lots. I will say this. If you're getting college, it's, you know, EA Sports College Football 27 on the early package tomorrow or next week when it releases for everyone else, there's a lot of teams in there you want to start your dynasty with if you're being realistic. You take some of those lower tier teams and you try and build it up. So, you know, there's something to pay attention to with those. Speaking of college football, we've talked a little bit about this. We've got some brand switches going on. So we'll work through this here since I did not organize these for Matthew. But somewhere up the nope. Well, we can do that one. That one and the one after it. So South Carolina is switching from Under Armour to Nike. I've got a niece who went there. I've got several people, friends and family, who went to South Carolina. So praise Jesus for this. Not that I hate Under Armour, but there's just something about the swoosh. Here's how the Gamecocks uniform is going to look with said swoosh on it. Looking pretty good. Shane Beamer and the boys running out there.
A little cleaner. A little more clean.
It is. Yeah. It's just a good look.
Yep.
Here's an up close at the left shoulder patch with that swoosh.
Yeah.
Some people are like, this doesn't matter. It matters to me. It matters to me. And I guarantee you it matters to those players. You want to. There's a couple schools who said, including one of my nephews who plays for a school, which I'll leave unnamed for right now, but a Division I school. They put out an April Fool's Day post, which of course the players saw because they followed it, saying, we're switching from Adidas to Nike. They're like, yes. I was like, that is such a dickbag move.
It's terrible.
Like, you got them all excited.
Right. And
then you pulled the carpet out from underneath them. Just kidding. And Adidas is fine. It's just not as good when it comes to football uniform and gear as Nike.
Right.
Adidas has its place in certain sports. They're big in soccer. You know, Under Armour's great in a lot of areas too. But when it comes to football uniform swag, cleats, etc.,
right,
there's one king. And do they use sweat labor overseas? Are they woke as a company and certain things? Yes, absolutely. But are they best? You're damn straight they are.
Right. And all those kids, you know, it's not just about, you know, wearing the gear necessarily on game days. It's all the stuff that they get, you know, the shoes, the socks, the clothes, right? And so they want it to be Nike.
Heck
so, yeah, I didn't hear about that joke. That's terrible.
Oh, it is terrible. Because I, as an uncle, was like, bro, that's awesome.
Right.
And then I'm with him and his mom when the conversation is happening, like, oh, no, that was, or maybe, I don't know if it was my brother or his mom, but they're like, that was an April's Fool's. I was like, that is so freaking douchebaggy right there. And they're a great coaching staff, and they're going to have a great year, and I'm excited to travel and see some of their games. But not cool on that move. So here's kind of an overview of some of the bigger. Obviously, there's some smaller schools, some different schools making switches. We've talked about 2 of these, but Georgia Tech is going from Adidas to Under Armour, basically a lateral move. I don't love the first look of the uniforms they've put out. There's a couple combinations that are great. Didn't pull pictures in on those. But it looked like, for one of their options looked like they had a black pant. It was like, what? There's no black in Georgia Tech.
No.
Maybe it was a bad image and they're like dark navy, but it didn't look like their navy color. Like if you've worked a black pant into a team that is white, gold, and navy, I'm not. That's
something wrong.
That's a fail.
Yeah.
Fail on Under Armour's part. Penn State. So let's slap that back up. Penn State is going to Adidas. I don't know why you do it. I do. It's called money and lots of it. And for a uniform like Penn State, and even skipping down to the bottom, because we've already talked about South Carolina, they're also going from Nike to Adidas. It's also about a lot of money. That's what's causing this. But thank God for both of those uniforms. They're so simple. And that also that they haven't changed them, but they're so simple. Like literally the only difference is in the upper left chest, a swap from Nike to Adidas. Yeah. Like I can live with them. Like you can see the stuff that's out there. You can see Penn State dropping their new images. Everyone's bookstores now are flooded with the new, whoever their apparel sponsor is. I can live with it. I think it's a terrible move, but I can live with it, and the unis still look classic and great.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. As long as the uniforms are still classic, they're the traditional uniforms. They're not changing anything crazy about them. It's not the biggest of deal. But I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I keep it the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely. Well, at least they didn't go full Nebraska, which we talked about last week. I don't get it. I don't get it. Some of you, I don't know. Whatever. So that's what's going on the college football front. Reminder, I said it earlier, most of this audience is not into gaming. That's fine. But for some of the younger generations listening and watching, you already know this. But EA College football comes out next week, technically the 9th. But you can play it as soon as, actually today, I believe, as soon as today if you get a certain package. So there's a lot of people. It's a good time because normally a lot of people are like, I can't come to work, just like we talked about with Grand Theft Auto. It's 4th of July weekend. No one's doing shit across the country.
Right.
So have some fun with that. Speaking of, we'll do some memes to end. But before we get into hot dogs, brats, and fireworks on Saturday, or after we do, I guess, which hopefully you guys have some fun plans for that. NASCAR still going on Sunday. We've got, here's their schedule for the weekend. They're Chicagoland. It's a 6 p.m. race on Sunday. That should be fun. Obviously, there's qualifying on Saturday. You've got a race 5:30 p.m. On the O'Reilly series there, and some activities on the screen that you can see there as well for Friday. The PGA also doing stuff. They've got their John Deere Classic this weekend, which is in Illinois. There's a lot going on in Illinois. They're in Illinois for the tournament. That starts today. It's happening now as we speak. So you got soccer today. You got the John Deere Classic, which runs through Sunday. You got NASCAR festivities starting tomorrow. And then we're all blowing shit up on Saturday, which is going to be great. Obviously, this one, a particularly special year. We've talked about what we're doing, but what are you doing for the 4th of July?
We'll be going over to my fiance's family's house. They have her cousin. It's his birthday on the 4th of July. So I'm sure you can imagine, we're all very proud Americans over there. And so it's going to be a very big party. I hear the budget for fireworks this year was very, very high.
I love it. That ought to be great.
Yes.
That ought to be great. Okay, well, let's get into some memes. So I know we're wrapping a little bit early today. It's been a lot. Here's the problem with this week, and I apologize for Tuesday too. The world is shutting down this week. Most of the sports on breaks, so we ended up taking a break Tuesday because there just wasn't a ton to talk about. We didn't want to just fake it to do it. We wanted it to be a good show, so we waited for today. Today's going to wrap a little bit early because we want to get out and get into the weekend and festivities, which hopefully you do too. Hopefully you're taking a break, not from sports, but from politics and some of the other stuff that's going on out there. For now, though, before we do get out of here, let's do some memes.
That's meme-tastic.
That's meme-tastic.
We should do that one more time.
Okay, so leading into today's memes, keep in mind a couple things. One, we don't have a ton. But two, there's been a couple themes going on. We've seen the Sophie Cunningham. Gosh, we love you, Sophie. We love you so much. You know, with her pointing in the game, she always gives us some great stuff. So that's worked in at a couple points. We've seen Millie Adcock say some dumb things that have gotten her and Supergirl in some hot water. So I think that's in there once or twice. There's a couple different things worked in there. You'll see them. There's maybe another theme I'm forgetting too. But at any rate, let's get started. Here's a headline from Babylon Bee. Kansas City Royals somehow find a way to lose on a day when they didn't play. Really going hard to the hoop on the Royals there. That's impressive if you can figure that out. This one right here speaks to me so much. Now, you can swap out when we put it up ADHD with something else, just high functioning, whatever. But we've got the anatomy, like the muscle anatomy of a person, a male holding the plank, the low plank position. What it feels like for ADHD people to listen to someone finish a sentence that they already understood within the first few seconds. I hate that so much. Like, I know. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yep.
I know what you're going to say after that, too. Like, can we just stop talking and move on to the next part?
Yeah. It's funny. That's exactly how it feels when it happens, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to bite your... And I don't want to be a douche, so I do typically, bite my lip and just wait patiently. Well, inside I'm exploding with anger and rage. Like, can you shut the blank up?
Just
like,
get to the point.
Yeah, like, seriously. Oh, let me... Time out. Here's what you're going to say. Here's the tone you're going to say it in. And here's how we can save time by not doing it. For the people who don't understand that, they're like, "Gosh, you sound so mean." But if you experience it all the time, then it's a true story. All right, here's our first Sophie Cunningham, Queen Sophie. In the most exciting moment in the history of the WNBA, woman points at other woman. There was so much going on with it this week. It was absolutely crazy, the amount of stuff with that. But yeah. Real quick, Chaos is asking, Drew, are you aware of the new pro women's basketball league called Upshot? Yes, I have heard of it. It hasn't.
Is that the Waves? The Jacksonville Waves?
Are they in that?
I don't know. I thought so.
They might be. I know little enough about it that I don't know the answer. I do know there's a team here.
Yep.
I don't know if they play in.
Yeah.
I don't plan on getting season tickets. Not because I'm not trying to be a sexist douche. I just am not into pro women's basketball.
I'm just not into basketball, so
yeah, that's fair point.
Yeah,
fair point. My brother had a client meeting, and he was in town. He wanted to go, and he got out of it, but he wanted to go. He didn't manipulate his way out of it. It worked out where he didn't have to go. But he was like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get some dinner, and then," which of course my brother was going to have to pay for all this. Get some dinner, and then go to the women's basketball game at the arena. He was kind of like, "Ooh. Better be a great client." Like that's a tough.
Maybe they have good food there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, ViStar has added a lot of stuff. You can get, cocktails. There is better food there, but I don't know if it's good enough.
No, probably not.
There's something about which I haven't done yet. Which next year we're gonna do. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into some Iceman games. I've never gone to an Iceman game. Obviously, a huge hockey guy, but never been to an Iceman game.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna go.
But them and then the Shrimp, like we've got some great minor league options here. That the other one's just not in that camp.
Agreed.
Okay, we've got another Babylon Bee title. Supreme Court rules any baby born at Olive Garden is an Italian citizen. That's interesting. I don't know if it's dual citizenship or it's just straight up Italian. Right. But in the land of 2026, anything makes sense.
Comes on the heels of all the birthright citizenship stuff going on, so that's a good one. I can get behind it. Yeah.
When's the last time you ate at Olive Garden?
It was last week, and it was a terrible experience.
Was it?
Yeah, okay. It was not good.
How so?
Well, they screwed up our food 3 different times, and the service, it was one of those where it was a Monday night. And so, there's all of 3 or 4 tables in there and one server who's running around doing everything, running it, drinks, everything. They didn't have the wine we wanted. It was just a fiasco.
That sets things up. Was it on your side of town or the new one over here?
No, it was on our side. Yep.
I haven't been there in so long.
Really?
But I'm kind of curious to go because we have a new one, just over the bridge.
If it's new, it should be okay. I mean, I always liked Olive Garden. It was just a bad, just a bad experience. I'm sure we go to another one, it'll be,
it'll be A-okay.
There you go.
A-okay. All right, here's our maybe it's our only one. I don't remember, but this is our first Supergirl one. We got Millie Adcock on the left. The Supergirl we got. The Supergirl we deserve. We've got Sophie Cunningham in a Superwoman or Supergirl outfit on the right with her point. Yeah. I mean, give us Sophie Cunningham. Give us Sydney Sweeney. Mm-hmm. Give us something. You know what? And I'll be honest. People picking on Millie. Look, I don't care if she has different beliefs. I'd prefer that she shut up about it and not make such a big scene like she has about recent things. But I've liked her in some of the other stuff she did and didn't know that she had such strong opinions, and they have been strong as of late. So there's lots of frustration there. And the opening box office numbers were pretty terrible for Supergirl.
I didn't see that, no.
And I'm a DC guy. I like the DC comics. I'm not as much of a Supergirl guy as a Superman guy, of course, but it's not going well for them. Back in the day, we've got a young kid blowing into a Nintendo cartridge. Back in the day, every kid was an unlicensed Nintendo technician. Yeah. Watch out, Max. Just give me the damn thing. I'll just take it out of the console and let's blow on it. It'll be good. It was good. Here's another Sophie Cunningham. Remember the word, what was that movie with Sandra Bullock? Bird something?
Yeah, Bird Box?
Bird Box.
There you go.
Great little thriller. We got her blindfolded up top. When the ATF asks me about my neighbors, blindfolded. When ICE asks me about my neighbor, Sophie's pointing. He's over there. Hector's in the yellow stucco house right down the road.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so we've got a Nigerian soccer team. Nigerian football team said because of their poor performance in the opening World Cup game, they will refund fans. To get the full refund, all you have to do is this. Send your bank details, PIN number, and they will transfer the money directly. We've all gotten those emails from Nigeria. How that's still working, by the way, is pretty astonishing to me. But it's not working for most, but it's obviously still working for some.
They keep evolving. They almost got my mom the other day. I mean, she calls me. She was almost all the way at the end, and then she's like, oh, wait, something doesn't sound right. Yeah, they're asking for all of your information.
Right. Yeah. Why would they possibly need that? Right. Why would they possibly need it? And then hold on, before we put this up, this is going to piss some people off. I laughed out loud with this one. I'm not saying anyone else condones it. I'm just putting it up. It's my show. Whatever. We can do whatever we want. We've got a young black man riding on a bicycle. Look, Jesus, I'm doing it. And Jesus leans in. Let's put the bike back where you found it. Is that fair? No. Is it funny? Yes. Get a laugh. Take it into the 4th of July and enjoy it. Or send hate mail. Some of you do anyways. That's fine. Send it all. We love everybody. We love good humor. I thought that was pretty damn funny.
We'll be canceled by Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Absolutely. No, this was the last show for sure. That's why we're cutting it short. It's like people are like, legal's over here. We don't have legal. But they're
who's at the door?
All right, folks. Well, honestly, thanks for hanging out today. Sorry it was a little bit of a shorter episode, but we wanted to get you something, and we want to get into the 4th of July weekend and festivities now, so please enjoy it. Do it safely. Do it responsibly. Yes. But, push the envelope a little bit. Don't be, so responsible.
Have fun.
Responsible enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. So enjoy it. Happy 250th America. Best damn country on the planet. We'll look forward to seeing you back here Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, wherever you watch, wherever you listen. Be safe. Be smart. Be free.
We got balls and banter.